Yeah, it says live.
Well, it
All
says
right.
it's loading, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I got the live countdown for 21 seconds. So um, let's see. Let's see if we can see anybody DM us. See if they're let us know if we're live.
Nicole, can you do you have the go live button on the top right as well, right? Can you do that? Nicole?
Yeah, we are live right now, you guys. We are live and we are
Okay,
streaming.
gotcha. Okay,
I
gotcha.
All right, excellent.
Twitter. We are going and we are strong. Hi, viewers.
Yeah. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to the first AMA with NitroDome and our new partnership, Nitro League. We had some technical issues, as is the first streaming we're doing. So apologize for the delay. And yeah, very welcome. We have Iffy here and Facilis, and I want to give you the word, guys, that you can introduce yourself, talk about a bit what you're doing, guys, what your role is, and then we dive into what Nitro League is doing.
Awesome. So, uh, Paul's gonna go first, or I'm gonna go first.
Oh, if you want me to go first, I can go first, whichever.
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll just intro Nitro and Festivals and myself.
All right. Yeah, I'm Paul. I'm CTO of NitroDome. I've been in blockchain for about 6 years now, almost 7, and I've been a developer for a little over 35 years. And got into the blockchain space and realized it needs a good CTO. It needs a lot of good architecting, and so I spent a lot of time working on projects to build something that's strong, has a good foundation, and is built in a way that can actually grow. And I met up with Gordon a few years ago on a project, and we both had the same vision of building something that's strong, solid, stable, and actually building something before you actually launch it, um, rather than a lot of long wish list and roadmap. And so we spent the last few years building NitroDome, and we're getting ready to launch. And so we're working on partnerships, and Nitro League is one of our very first partnerships, and we're really excited to be working with them.
Awesome, awesome. So and it's very excited to be working with you guys as well. You guys have an amazing project, and I think everybody that's listening would want to know, especially the Nitro League people who are watching this, because this is going to be a pretty interesting and awesome integration with your project. In general, I'll talk a little bit about Nitro League. It's a Web3 racing game. We've been out there since January in the alpha phase, just running some tournaments and slowly doing a little bit of user acquisition. We have a user base and some diehard fans, I should say, that always kind of participate in the tournaments and win quite a bit. And they get how the format works usually is we have some NFT giveaways for these participants usually, and they get to customize their own cars if they win. The top 3 players, and there's a few players that have their own kind of custom designed cars. They actually work with their artists, so it's pretty cool. But one of the things that had been, I guess, an issue, and I'll just kind of jump right into this kind of partnership why it's awesome,
Yeah.
is that like we didn't have, like, originally when we launched like a couple of years ago with a mobile version, it wasn't really the full out 3D version. We had this minting feature where you could actually mint cars and have all of that. 3D game kind of inherited that feature, but we never got around to kind of making the assets tradable, really. So right now there's a lot of Nitro League players out there that are sitting with assets, and most likely duplicate assets as well. Like, and when I mean assets, I mean there's a lot of cars, there's a lot of engines, car parts, or different stuff that they own, and those duplicate.
Oh, sorry, it was just I just put a
Okay,
message to Gordon.
just checking that. Sorry, but yeah, so there's a lot of duplicate assets that they're sitting with, right? And I think that's where your platform kind of comes in very handy, because we don't have to right now work on the development of kind of NFT trading or anything like that anymore. Your platform does a pretty good job with it, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I kind of want to have you explain it. It's going to be much better and much more technically logical. But I love it. I love the fact that now, as soon as the integrations are done, Nitro League fans, and this is the first time kind of we're mentioning this on any kind of public forum. You're going to have the ability to actually trade these assets with other players. So the duplicates that you have or whatever, you can just swap it with some other people. There's a lot of people that so it's a multiplayer game. So when the race is on, people can see each other cars. And a lot of times people comment on it, who has that car and how do I get a hold of this car or whatever. And these cars are kind of like, they launch, the NFT collections launch in phases. So some of the cars are not available anymore. They're just sitting with some people and they don't necessarily sell it usually on like OpenSea or whatnot. So having a platform where they could just kind of go in there and just trade it car to car would be pretty amazing actually. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to let Gordon and Paul talk a little bit about NitroDome itself and what kind of features it has. So then we can continue from there.
Yeah, let's do it. So I think the partnership in the first line is where we attach Nitro League to NitroDome's platform, right? And working together in kind of collaboration. So what NitroDome has to offer, we made several AMAs in the past, and the good thing is we're also working on some showcase videos right now that are going to be dropped out next week. So what is our like kind of main utility is that we have the NitroDome, like the Nitro portal, and the portal is kind of Web 2 to Web 3 bridge, where we attach Web 2 games and to make them like kind of blockchain compatible without cutting off the Web 2 gamers, which is most likely done or mostly done by other gaming platforms. They take an existing Web 2 game, integrating blockchain and cutting off the Web 2 gamers. So they force the Web 2 users literally to use blockchain. But we want to do it like, we have a different approach. Our intention is to minimize the development on the Web 2 game studio and also like keep the game unchanged in the terms of not destroying the game economics, not bringing in major development. And I think this is a perfect suit for Nitro League, as we simply attach it to the portal and users can import and export their assets. We had a call with Irfan last week where we also talked about our NFT decks. And there's in particular one feature that he really likes is that users can swap specific assets against other assets that are sitting in a liquidity pool without the need to wait for a buyer or seller, whatever. They can just simply swap or exchange their game assets. So if they have something duplicated, right, they can just swap it. And there's a lot more that NitroDome has to offer, and therefore we're super excited as we go live with the platform. We have set a target for next week. It's way earlier than planned, I think with the partnership of with Nitro League, and we have some other games on board, we have enough to say, okay, let's go live with the platform. So we're super proud to having Nitro League on board as well. Faz, you're still there, or I see that Irfan dropped his connection maybe.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, awesome. Faz, do you want to like give our users some insights on, in particular, we have a lot guys from NitroDome in the stream as well, and it would be great to hear like if our community wants to play the game, where they have to go through, what platform is required. Like, can you give us a bit of insights about Nitro League?
For sure. Yeah, so getting started with the game is pretty simple. So you just have to go to nitroleague.com and you download the game from there, and it gets downloaded, and then you just basically sign on. It's a very, very simple sign on. You can either make your virtual account or you can just directly sign up from Google itself as well. So you just log on, you head on to your profile, you select NitroDome there. So we have different teams, right? So you just select your team, your car will be there to select in the garage, your free NitroDome fully branded custom car. So you can access that. But again, there's a catch. So it'll only be free to use during the tournament. After the tournament ends, only the top 100 people who finish in the tournament, they get that same car airdrop to their wallets for free. And so that's like the price for the top 100 people as well. So
Awesome.
once you Yeah, it is pretty awesome indeed. And yeah, so once you have the car in your garage and you've selected your team, you just go to the special events tab. So that's closed for now. It'll open on Monday when the tournament starts. And obviously we'll make a post for that when the tournament is live and everything. So until then, what you can do is we have our time trial version. So you can go on to the time trial. You can start playing. You can start practicing. If you haven't played Nitro League before, you can. It'll be very very good to get started with the game because there are some little ways that you can maybe get ahead of some people. There are like some shortcuts and stuff that you can take to kills to like cut the time off. You can finish the track a bit early. So yeah, but you have to figure that on your own, or you can maybe go onto our YouTube channel where we have posted where those exact shortcuts are. But again, you have to search for yourself for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Like as for the tournament, I don't know where if he is, but yeah, I
Oh no,
think
he's
I'll just get
relogging
on
in.
with
It's fine.
his logging in, his logging. Okay, all right, perfect. So the
Yep.
rewards as well, I'll touch base on it a bit as well. So this starting this tournament, we have brought in something new for our players, and what's that gonna be is all of the top the people who finish in the top 10, they're gonna be advancing on to a grand Nitro League tournament. That'll happen like
Okay.
once every 2 months. So this is
And
something
how far are we
that
away? Like, how far are we away from the 2 months period? The next one?
it'll probably be somewhere around New Year time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. No, we're super excited. Thanks for the intro on your game. So if you're motivated, guys, go over there, check it out. I have seen some graphics, and I'm super like stoked. This is pretty cool stuff. I like what Nitro League is doing, and in particular, we have seen that you guys designed a car for us, the NitroDome car, and it looks super nice. Like I don't know if you can share that, so that the visitor or viewer can see as well the car you have designed for us. That would be great. And so yeah, we are first of all we really appreciate that having a NitroDome car in Nitro League. I mean, from a naming perspective, it's pretty cool. But beside that, yeah, no, I think that's a cool partnership, and yeah, we're looking forward to put your game on our platform as well. So again, just giving some insights as well from our end. Is that we plan to go live next. We plan to go live with the NitroDome platform next week, a bit earlier than originally planned. But we said like, okay, no, we're in place. As well as you may guys have recognized, we went live with our Web2 MMO game, which is Robomaniacs, and you can see like the screenshots coming out of the game. We have already like a good core gaming community for in particular just for this game, and they created a Telegram channel and they sharing information and everything. And so yeah, no, that's pretty good with the user core we just got, and also with our other game Monopoly. And so yeah, no, we're super excited to get Nitro League on board as well, so that people can review the game on our platform. They get tech insights, they get events, and also yeah, once the time is right and Nitro League is integrated in the portal, well, then you can import and export your assets quite straightforward and get some cool racing cars as NFTs as well. So in terms of chain, if you wanna dive into that a bit, so maybe we can give some alphas here as well, and what is your targeted chain on where users need to go through to access these things. Maybe you want to dive into that.
Sorry, what did you say? Chain?
Oh, from a chain perspective, right? If you talked about NFTs and you talk about like the cars as NFTs, and on what chain you're guys operating, and what is your target? Just saying for new users, right?
I
So
guess
if I yeah,
I'll
go ahead.
just I'll just do a little bit of history on this. So essentially, I've built games for the past 15 years, like different kind of games or whatnot, and around 3 years ago, that's when I started getting into the Web3 gaming, and I think that's when a lot of the Web3 GameFi narrative was pretty hot, and we got into Web3 racing game because none of those existed at that time, and one of the key features I think that normally gamers want. And I know we talk a lot about Web 2 gamers and Web 3 gamers, but essentially it is gamers, right? And then they play those games. So a lot of the things that we figured that kind of gamers require weren't available on many of the chains that were out there. And initially we launched the game on Polygon chain, and even though it was pretty cheap at the time as compared to Ethereum or something, but still gamers do want to trade items. Like even when we were little kids, we had like these consoles and we owned these cartridges, and I would have 10 games, my friend would have like 5 other games. We would trade them pretty frequently and easily without any friction. And that's what gamers usually tend to want. If they have like played a game and they have earned something, that they want to like trade those assets freely. So the friction points that we had at that time was the cost of it in general, because there's only 2 ways: either we sponsor the fees or the user pays for the transaction fees, right? And both of those, and then the predictability as well. Like so on Polygon, when we initially a couple of years ago we put the assets on, even the trading stuff and on chain records for the race results and everything on the chain, it was getting to be pretty costly from us, the developer perspective, and from the user perspective as well. So at that time we took a lot of assets off chain. Just after a couple of months, we tried it for a couple of months. It wasn't really working out for the users or us, so we took it out. Last year I ran into Waynar chain, which is L1 blockchain, and I tested out their testnet, which was their testnet wasn't testing at that time, but I put the Nitro League game on there, tested out the transactions, and it was they have like flat rate fees, and then B, it was like 1/20th of a cent per transaction. So, and C, later on they partnered with Third Web, and then we could even sponsor the fees. So having all of these things, now Nitro League is actually gonna be on Waynar chain starting from this tournament that's coming up. And that means all the race results, all the assets, and everything is gonna be shifted. All the prizes that people get are gonna be on Waynar chain, and the advantage of that is simply that when users actually trade those assets, it's not gonna cost them that much. It's always gonna be the same price. There's no gas wars. You don't have to wait for like time of the day to actually figure out when to trade or whatnot. And they got pretty good hardware. So for that, again, that's what we chose. I'm also working with that team as well very closely for some of the ecosystem development or whatnot. Since last year, I've developed quite good relationships with them. But I think from a gamer's perspective, in a game, we have to think about the users. And I think now in the next build that's coming out, and as soon as we can get the NitroDome integrated, I think it's going to just open up a lot of freedom for the users to actually get their in-game assets converted into NFTs and then freely trade them without having to worry too much about how much gas fees is there or what time of day they want to trade and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, agree to that. Oh, thanks for the insight. That's pretty cool. And you mentioned Waynar chain, which brings us to I don't know, we didn't made it public yet, but at this point, I just feel free to, if we integrate your game onto the portal, means also that since our portal is, or our platform is chain agnostic, so we can go live literally on or every EVM chain. So we made the decision to go live on Waynar chain and on Base chain, like these are our 2 targeted chains. And so, yeah, people can use the portal, can extract their items and just go on Waynar chain with their racing cars. That's pretty cool. And we literally do the same with Robomaniacs, which we prepared. And I love the game, and I would love to see your users on the platform using the portal and go ahead with the NFTs on the Waynar chain.
I do have a question though. I think the users would want to know this as well. So your platform idea is very unique, right? Like I haven't, I've been in the Web3 industry for like 3 years, and nobody has really done it like you guys have in the platform. So can you maybe just walk the audience through the thought process, or how did you run into this idea kind of thing? Like what came about that you said, hey, we're going to make this, it's going to be awesome.
I leave this to Paul.
Perfect lead up. I've been biding my time here. I knew the tech stuff would come, and I do appreciate it. And especially when you're talking about the issues that you were having with Polygon and all of the Web3 related problems that come when you come in as a game developer and you come and you try and do the Web3. It's a pretty heavy lift, and the problem you usually end up with is you break the game. You just break the game because you're spending time on things that are not necessarily fun for the players. They aren't necessarily helpful for the players. You're actually breaking and changing things that make it harder for players in most cases. And so that was actually one of the catalysts of why we came up with the portal. Was for us, it didn't make sense to actually put Web3 into a game. And that there's way more Web2 games out there that are fun, have lots of players, and how can we put Web3 or give the access to Web3 without breaking the game and without the heavy lift that comes from learning Web3 for a game developer? And so what we decided to do was we built a system where we do most of the work and we provide a small API, and you actually put Web3 on the back end of the game directly to the database. And what this means is you do not have to change your game code at all. And in your case, you actually have stuck Web3 into your game and integrated Web3 in ways and found it difficult and found the trouble spots and the security and the gas costs and all of those things, where in your case, you could actually take Web3 entirely 100% out of your game code. And as a game developer, focus on your game and focus on making your game fun and the gameplay fun and the interaction fun. And then put our portal API on the back end and allow assets to be taken into the game from NFT to game asset or from game asset to NFT, where we do 95% of the work on the back end. You have a few different endpoints that authenticate the user and actually mint and burn NFTs or mint and store NFTs, however you do it. But we do all of the blockchain transactions. We do the authentication part. We manage all of the assets on chain. And all you have to do is worry about making your game fun. And so it's a completely different approach. So there's no Web3 in your game. Robomaniacs is a game that we have that is entirely Web2, 100% Web2. It's a fun game. It's a browser-based game. We have lots of users on it already. We're getting more every day. We just launched it live. We had a lot in the beta. And so if you're interested in playing that, Gordon, what's the URL to that?
Well, robomaniac.com.
Robomaniac.com.
Yeah.
And go there, sign up, and you can play the game. And next week, when we get our platform live, you'll actually be able to use our NFT portal to interact with the assets in the game. So you'll be able to take game items out as NFTs and then trade them on the marketplace, or take NFTs and put them into the game as game assets. And it just showcases our technology.
But just to jump in, we also have the fiat on-ramp, right? Like you can purchase in-game assets with PayPal, and like some of the players already reached out, like I want to have these features and I want to buy extra packages. After 2 days, and we said like, hey guys, hold on, wait a week. Next week we go live, and then people can purchase these packages. And it's the same for Nitro League as well. If he is interested, or Ifan, we can do this as well, right? So that you can offer special items that can be just used by the portal, buy these things in game, which is another aspect that easyfies for the Web2 games outside there. But before I give the word back to Paul, I just want to mention out we have a lot of viewers right now, guys. If you have any questions or you want to have something more in detail about Nitro League, about NitroDome, or you have any particular questions, please drop a comment on Twitter, or join our Telegram group, and then drop your questions there. We pick them up, and we are more than happy to answer what you need to have to be answered. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, we do. We also have Mintopoly, which is another game that's coming out, and that one actually had Web3 in it, and we took Web3 out of it and put our portal on the back end. But that's the beauty part about the portal, is the way that we've built it. It doesn't, you're not putting a specific chain in a game. You're not putting a Web3 into your game. And so you can actually use it with an existing Web2 game. You could use it with a Web3 game that remains Web3 in the game, but you want to expand it with another NFT collection. You could take a Web3 game and completely pull Web3 out of it, so that as game developers, you can focus on the game. That's the thing, is Web3 is not simple. It's got its complexities, and even well-documented stuff it's still in its infancy and you're still going to run into issues. Let us solve those problems and let you focus on what you do best, which is making fun games for your users and interacting with the users and making sure that everybody has a good time. And let us deal with the Web3 part and don't change your code. It's a beautiful thing. It's just a great relationship. And let our platform manage all of that for you.
Yeah.
I think
Another
that's
one.
one, like, essentially, like back in the day when game development even in Web 2 was pretty hard because developers had to go through all these hoops to actually integrate cross game ads and just cross promotional stuff, offer walls, or even like trading marketplaces or whatnot. It got all easier, around like 10 years ago or whatnot, when a lot of other technologies came in that took care of the infra and the tooling, and now the game developers just had to worry about the core gameplay and mechanics or whatnot. And I think that's what was missing in Web3 for quite a long time now. And I mean, solutions like yours are really going to help web developers, as you just said, rightfully. So just focus on the core gameplay, which is what gamers like, right? They want to
Right.
have those animations and those special effects and better graphics. They don't really they don't really see all the stuff that goes in the back end of the game.
Oh, so true.
And I mean, as a gamer, I shouldn't have to care either, right? Like, I mean, all I want is like to spend an hour a day playing a beautiful game which has all these special effects and speed and everything covered there. There's no glitches, bugs. So I think that's like your platform really enables developers to focus on that part. Like, forget about the trading and especially the Web3 part, because still, like, even in Nitro League, like, since we have enabled the Web2 user logins and everything, like 70% of the users that come in, the new users, they are not Web3 users, they're actually Web2 users, and they don't know necessarily what wallets are. They don't care about it. They just come into the game, they play the game, they earn their rewards, and that's the point when they actually figure out, okay, I won something, and now I have to create a wallet and set, like, attach that wallet in order to get that NFT reward. With and for because of that reason, we had to make like in-game assets, right? But in your case now, it's easier because having your product integrated, like, we all we have to worry about is the in-game assets, and that's it. Like, we can reward those Web2 users in-game assets. Once they're educated about the Web3 part, then they can choose to go ahead and mint it on a chain and then trade it or do whatever they want. So it's pretty nice. I think it's a very, very kind of groundbreaking product for Web3 game developers out there. For anybody that's listening, like, do check it out, do try it out. It's very simple, it's very easy. Like, we've integrated in, and trust me, it's super simple. It's like, I mean, it's like having Unity plugins, right? You just drag and drop
Yeah.
and it's just ready to do pretty much.
Irfan,
Well,
appreciate the Oh, Paul, can I jump in quickly? No, it's just one of the
absolutely.
points. So no, I appreciate the feedback, Irfan, and it's like, yeah, this is why we built this, right? Because we want to make it easy for game studios. But there's another one aspect I want to point out, and this is so important: the cross-game interconnectivity, right? So what that means for a user is if Nitro League players like need a break from the game, or they want to dive into other things, the good thing is that the portal also connects games, right? So a user literally could extract an item from Nitro League and could say, okay, and now I want to do something with that within, for example, Robomaniacs, right? So Robomaniacs and Topoly is owned by us. We can simply attach every collection that we want to. And we already have an artist for Robomaniacs, which is BGK. He has a really impressive, I would say, collection of swords, and he's long-term with us. We take his collection and map it to a specific item into the game. Means that suddenly the users and owners of these NFTs can have utility inside the Robomaniacs game. The good thing is that we can do the same with Nitro League, right? We can say these racing cars now become a part of Robomaniacs. So people go to the portal, on the right hand they see their racing cars, they click on convert, and suddenly they become I don't know, like a brutal chest level 6 or whatever in the game. And this is how the portal works as well, right? And the interesting thing is that we just talked to another game studio. They have several indie games, and they saying, holy shit, that's nice. So I can like just make it so that my games have cross-shared items. Yes, I was like, how much work is that? No, you just need to do the mapping on the backend, and that's easy. So it's within a few days, and you have your games suddenly interconnected. And why that's so important is because there are games they're closing partnerships, right? And they also building a community together. But what could be better if you share just game items between the games, where we say, okay, this gives my game another use case, because suddenly the gamers from the other game are incentivized to come to my game, and reverse. This is real community building and sharing, and it makes it so much easier. But I bet Paul wants to jump into this as well, because like he is the CTO, he is the brain behind the portal, and I don't want to steal him the word on that. So Paul, jump in if I know you have a lot to say for this part.
Yeah, I mean the intergame thing is good, but one thing I wanted to hit on with that, if he was talking about, was the Web 2 users. When you come in with a Web 2 game, and you might have 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, half a million players, whatever it is, and you try and change it to Web 3, there's a huge fear of dropping all of those players, because now you're making them create wallets or do anything. Even if you make it transparent, you're still changing the core game code. And how do you change the core game code without breaking things? Very difficult thing. Our solution means that since you can do it on the back end, you're not touching your game code, you can integrate our portal at the simplest level. In other words, just authentication and getting a user's assets within probably under an hour. So you could actually NFTify your first asset in your game in under an hour. It really is that simple. It'll take you longer to map all of your assets to NFTs than it will to actually create the first portal transaction. And that's mind blowing for most people. Most people think it's, magic. But you can do this without ever making any of the Web 2 players ever do any Web 3, and without touching your game code. It'll be seamless to them. They'll have no clue. And this brings up an interesting point about Steam and other platforms, and even the Play Store. You never know what they're going to do with games that integrate crypto. And a lot of times they're locking them out. I think Steam is currently locking any games out that have crypto. Well, there'll be no crypto in the game itself, no Web3 in the game itself. So you should be able to be able to maintain your access to Steam. So your game can still be on Steam. You're just putting it on the backend database. That's it. And so nobody actually has to use Web3. Nobody has to create a wallet. If they want Web3, they come to our platform, hook up their account, and now they can actually move their assets into and out of the game. And so it's a beautiful thing. It just makes it so seamless. But cross-game assets is an exciting concept. I not only can you do cross-game assets between individual games, I think there's going to be a time when you actually have projects collaborating to create games that are synergistic. In other words, the assets from my game are specifically designed to be used in your game, and the assets from my game are specifically designed to be used in your game. And by doing this, you could actually have these entire worlds, these entire universes that are designed to interact. So you could have one that's a space simulator that you go out and you mine rare resources from planets across the galaxy. You take these rare resources out as NFTs, and you inject them into a game that is some role-playing game where you're building castles and war machines, and they're using those materials that you got from the space game to create assets or to build things in this role-playing game. Two separate games, two different genres, maybe even two different developers that collaborate together, because you're basically taking what is on a single planet, in a single universe, and we are freeing it from that and saying, where do you want to take it and where do you want it to go? It gets exciting. And I mean, game developers and gamers are a bunch that they think outside the box. They want to do new and interesting things. And we're giving them this tool that's lightweight and it's an elegant solution. And I just can't wait to see how they actually use it.
Yeah, and it's true. And if you think about it, like even myself as a gamer, you guys, we don't we like some games, we play games, but then we move on as well to other games, right? That's what makes us gamers. And
Yeah.
once we leave a game, those assets are kind of left behind, right? Whatever you spent in that game, whatever assets you grind for and everything. So in this way, again, I think the Web3 game advantages as time goes on. More and more games developers are gonna use assets. It's gonna make easier for the gamers when they move on to the next game. They can actually utilize the assets that they have from the previous game, which would be amazing. And we have been working with a few games already as Nitro League that have metaverses, not necessarily racing games, where they can take the Nitro League cars there and drive them around and everything like that. So I think, again, as you said, it's in the infancy stage. The Web3 gaming still, like, there was a boom back there, but it wasn't really about gaming. It was just about, I would say, crypto. The Axie Infinity and that kind of phase, where they weren't actually utilizing the Web3 technology, leveraging it for the game. They were just kind of playing around the play to earn model, where gamers are not really gamers. They just want to earn money.
Right.
But this is actually meant for the gamers, like, where they want to play the game and then they can own those assets and they can keep them and take them to the next game that can utilize it.
Well, that's funny because you're really hitting a key point of this whole selling point of own your own assets, and all of that's kind of like this narrative: own your assets, actually own your assets. The problem that is occurring right now in the Web3 space when it comes to owning your own assets is, yes, you can own your own assets in just this one universe, in just this one game, in just this one area. Yes, you can own it. Sure, you can bring it as an NFT, but this is the only place you can own it. You can't do anything else with it. You could bring it out and make it your profile picture, whatever it is that you want to do, trade it on the marketplace. But in reality, it's still stuck in one place. And so it's really limited ownership.
There's something I want to express itself, is that there's a difference between Web 2 and Web 3. I'm just saying it's not 100% the case, but mostly Web 2 games getting played because the gamers love gaming, right? Nobody I don't know, there's so many games where Web 2 players just having fun. I see the problem on Web 3 games is that a majority of the players playing the games for rewards and getting at least something out. And that's the reason why you see so many Web 3 games dying, because at the beginning there's a hype, they're getting rewards, the more players come in, the rewards go back, and then people leaving the game. Right? This is and then game. I have seen so many great games and they died just because the community went away to the next game where rewards are higher, whatever. I think the beautiful thing here is, since we're not migrating our Web 2 game into Web 3, we're just extending it. We're keeping the Web 2 gamers that loving the games, and we're adding the benefits of Web 3, right? So there's not the Web 3 community that dumps and is jumping in. It's just a combination of both having the gameplay on Web 2, the fun, and use the benefits you can have on Web 3 by trade your assets and using the marketplace. However, I just Dennis, our graphics guy, just gave me something, and so I just want to share. I think you can see that this is the NitroDome car in earphone. I hope I'm allowed to share that. So this is how it looks like, and we're super excited for this next week when you guys start with that. So thanks again for the opportunity, Irfan, and that we can be part of your exciting community.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually made for your community. So anybody that joins the tournament next week, make sure to select the team as NitroDome team, and it will show up as a free car. It's not going to be an NFT at that point. It's just going to be an in-game asset just for the duration of the tournament. But if you do rank in the leaderboard, and we do reward, I think, the top 100, even if we don't, now that I've said it, now we will. So the top 100, if you rank in there, then you will get that as an NFT as well, dropped into your wallet. So it's for your community, and I think you guys are probably going to give out for community activities as well some of those cards. So do watch out for how you can win those inside the game and also from the NitroDome socials.
Yeah, exciting. No, we're looking forward to this. Irfan, you guys have another big AMA next week. You want to give a quick shout out to that and what the topics will be and who is part of that big AMA, and so that the current viewer have a preview on what's coming up next?
Yeah, I can just tell you guys a little bit that it's so the day one of the tournament, right before it starts, what we do is we just have all the partners join in. And I'm not going to name all of them, but of course, you guys are going to be there. Hyperplay is going to be there. And there's going to be a few other ones that you guys can come in and check out. And essentially, you get to learn about, and the whole objective of it is in each tournament, we introduce some big names, some good partners, some good projects that are happening in the space. So they can come in, their communities can come in and find out about all the projects, what they're doing, what's coming up next. Usually a lot of stuff is revealed in these AMAs, similar to in this current session that we're having. There's a lot of stuff that we're talking about here that has not been made public yet. So I think it is good to join these sessions. Frankly speaking, Gordon is CEO. We have the CTO Paul here. I'm the CEO and executive producer of Nitro League, and we're just really busy all the time with work. There's so much going on that we sometimes don't even get a chance to tell the marketing team that, hey, this is something that's happening, so post it or whatnot. But
yeah, we hear you.
But from these kind of sessions, we actually get a chance to talk to our fans, the public in general, so they get to know a lot more information and news on what's going on, and get to ask us questions as well if there's anything. I usually get a lot of good feedback. And the AMA on Monday, again, it's part of it is kind of bragging rights as well, where projects, communities come in, so they have questions and they kind of talk about how they can beat the other community. No worries.
Yeah.
The community tags are on the leaderboard, so I mean there's a project leaderboard as well. So NitroDome, depending on how many people come in and play, how much they win.
We push hard, Irfan.
Yeah.
We're gonna push hard. We send our users. We're gonna send our users over there. So guys, to everybody who's listening here, give some support for NitroDome and join the AMA next week, and then we will leak some more information about what's coming up on our end. Irfan just said he will leak some stuff. This is great, and then also there will be a lot of other projects that may share some valuable information as well. At least from our end, and I can definitely say, and I hope I speak for Irfan as well. I guess we have a lot of gamers in the current session. If you guys are connected to a game, or you want to see your game part of the portal, your favorite Web2 game integrated, shoot us a message, reach out, and as well, if you have a community and you want to see your game or your project as a cool racing car within Nitro League, just reach out to Irfan, and I'm pretty sure we're super open-minded to get new partnerships, get new gamers on. I think networking and working together is the key in our small Web2 community, in particular in gaming. So yeah, let's build something really beautiful together. We're absolutely looking forward to the next AMA on Monday, and if you guys are bored, we have 2 games on the table right now. It's either Nitro League or go to Robomaniacs, which has been released 3 days ago. We have some top rewards for the finisher in the first season, and we also give away some rare NFTs, super rare NFTs once the platform launched. So to follow us, and we would love to see you as part of our community, or even on the Nitro League community. Irfan, I don't know, I do not have much to say. I would give you the word to you or Paul, and just close this up, and I will ask Nicole in the meanwhile if we have any questions in the public, then we can jump in and answer. But for my part, I'm talking enough, so sorry. Go ahead, guys.
No, I don't. I mean, the only thing I want to say is that we're really excited about the partnership here, and we see that not only Nitro League is going to be huge with NitroDome, but I know Nitro League's bringing in some additional partners, which is also pretty exciting. And we'll also be having a dev session coming up, a workshop coming up, where we'll show about integrating the NitroDome API into Nitro League. And I think that's going to be an exciting workshop session to explain basically how simple, straightforward, and easy it is, even for non-Web3 developers. That was our goal when we built the API. I think I've refactored it probably about 20 different times, making it more and more and more simple. That the amount of Web3 that somebody needs to know to be able to integrate the portal into their backend against their database is extremely limited. And the other thing that we also do is I have a lot of scripts. I've been building NFT projects for 4.5 years, hundreds of projects, and especially gaming projects where you map thousands of assets to NFTs, and that's a lot. I know for Robomaniacs, we created a little over 30,000 NFTs through scripting, and very complex, but did some scripting. We're able to build them all, every combination, and so we can work with you on that also. So we're a talented team. We have a lot of experience doing this.
Yeah, from my side, guys, really looking forward. Thanks for having us here on this AMA. Everybody that's listening, thanks for listening. And just looking forward to it. I think join in, hop in games, jump on any kind of opportunities that you see out there. Why not? Have fun playing games, pretty much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And good talking to you and your team as well. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. Appreciate your time. And Fez, you're still there. You want to add something, or well, at least would say
yeah, sure. Like, do join the tournament. It's gonna be pretty fun. And if you are joining, which you should, of course, join our Discord. All of the fun happens there during the tournament week. Anyone, so for example, if you're in the queue, you want someone to race with, just pop a message in the Discord chat, and hopefully there'll be someone ready and available for you to play with. And it is gonna be pretty fun. And of course, the top 3 players get their very own customized one-of-one cars. So that is something that you should really, like play towards. It is pretty exciting. You work closely with our with our designers to create those, and they are then airdropped to your wallet. And then, of course, the grand tournament is coming up, so you don't want to miss out qualifying for that. But yeah, that's all from my side. Looking forward to seeing you in the Discord and in the game. And yeah, let's fucking go.
Well done, guys. Thank you. So we haven't seen any questions in the socials, but guys, we are like, I can speak for me and Paul at least. We're working 60, 70 hours a week, so we're around. We also have our wonderful admins, Nicole, Emma, and Sol. They're always around. So if you have any questions after this call, even though you want to just reach out, see a demo to get a better understanding, come to our channels, reach out to me, Paul, or to the admins, and then we go ahead, and we can also, we're more than happy to onboard you guys as well, whoever is picking this up. So I would say thank you, Nitro League team, Paul, for having the time with us, and I wish you a wonderful weekend, guys.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Hey, bye.
Bye, guys.